Nakia here, and this is Rat and Cat, where we search, survive, and explore. Today we have an impromptu interview with Oche'Nah. Hey Oche'Nah, welcome. It's good to talk to you again.
Howdy, everybody. It's really good to talk to you, too. Thank you, Nakia, for this opportunity. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking with you in person. Maybe later on this summer we'll be able to connect down there at the Huckleberry camp at the Sawtooth Wilderness. But I wanted to check in and see how you're doing. I have wanted to, for some time, put a plug in for your nonprofit organization. Can you tell me more about it? What's the name and what's the mission?
Thank you. I'm the director and founder of ODM-MIPSAHH Native Outreach and Equine Therapy. Started actually 13 years ago in the Columbia River Gorge, ministering to my people on the river that I used to drink and smoke meth with. And the Lord Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, delivered me of that, set me free, and gave me a mission, sent me out up on the mountain to the Sawtooth Huckleberry fields, told me to go up there. And then I later learned he wanted me to minister to my people's needs up on that mountain. And so here I am now in 2019, preparing for the 10th annual Sawtooth Huckleberry Camp. And ODM-MIPSAHH, Native Outreach and Equine Therapy, is 4 years old as an IRS 501c3. You can look me up on the internet and find me there, ODM-MIPSAHH, Native Outreach and Equine Therapy. ODM-MIPSAHH is an acronym. It's all capital letters, ODM-MIPSAHH. And what it means and stands for is Open Door Ministries, ministering to indigenous peoples with salvation, abundant hope, and healing. My articles of incorporation are for Northwest tribes and bands specifically, and I also have a coverage in the articles of incorporation with Washington State for child abuse, childhood trauma, suicide, substance addictions, domestic violence, sexual assault, pornography, witchcraft, and the paranormal. I also have in my articles of incorporations to rescue all classes of equines, which include horses, mules, donkeys, alpacas, and any large class of animal like that. Cows even are in that classification. But I primarily stick with horses for equine therapy. That is motivation for this ministry, to minister to hurting Native Americans through equine therapy. I trained at Crystal Peaks Youth Ranch in Bend, Oregon in 2013 at their information clinic to learn how to start a 501c3 children's horse rescue ministry. The ultimate goal for ODM-MIPSAHH Native Outreach and Equine Therapy is to obtain land somehow here on the Yakima Reservation. I'm located in Wapato on the Yakima Nation in Washington State. And the goal is to just try to get land, a little bit of acreage or a lot of acreage, maybe even 100 if God would bless us with that much, and start a youth ranch called the Triple R. Triple R is rescued, redeemed, and renewed. This is a Christian ministry, a faith-based ministry. I'm not involved or affiliated with any denomination. I have been led on a different path of following the Lord in my life as a tribal person and a traditional thinking woman. We hold this camp up there. I'm a Sabbath keeper, and we have services on Saturday up there in the Word of God. And we have some food and snacks, and there's a free pancake breakfast. Don't have the date set for that, but it'll be sometime in August, and that's open to the public. The PCT hikers like to join us for that one and sit down and meet some of the Indians on the mountain and visit in the camp. We'll have games set up, horseshoe toss, and badminton and volleyball and things like that. We have fishing. There's a very clean, pristine lake in camp that I do not allow any bathing or soap or anything like that into. And you can float around out there and do some fishing too. There's, of course, equine activities with the 2 rescue horses, Oche'Nah Wash Day, Good Medicine, and Medicine Water. Oche'Nah Wash Day comes from the Yakima Reservation. He was a wild horse, and he was nearly beaten to death with barbed wire and bullwhips in the top of his stockyard. And he's 9, and my other horse just turned 9, and they're just a couple of beautiful little babies, children's therapy horses. And I would just love it if you would like to come and meet these beautiful horses up on the camp this year, up on the mountain, in the Gifford Pinchot National Forest, in the Sawtooth Huckleberry Fields, in the Indian Heaven Wilderness. Everyone is welcome to this camp to come and meet me, meet the horses, come investigate what I've been doing up there on this mountain every year to minister to the Yakima people. There's other tribes, too, that come, the Warm Springs and coastal Indians, and there's other peoples from all over that live here on the res, too, Navajos and other tribes, and they come up there to harvest berries. And so we have giveaways every year for people. I have lots of gifts that I give out. I pack up about 200, 250 pounds of potatoes that I get donated for the camp to hand out and for food for the camp also. And I last year started loading up the horses with their packing gear and packing down to Surprise Lakes where all the Indian camps are at and handing out gifts off the horses. That was just a bomb last year. We had a great time, and I'm hoping that we can pull that off again this year and get some people involved with that.
Your ministry and your nonprofit is mainly for to benefit Native Americans here in the Northwest, but anybody can come up and help volunteer and visit with you, have a personal conversation with you. Is that right?
Absolutely. I'd welcome anybody for that. I'd absolutely enjoy it if people wanted to come up and sit around the fire this year. If we can have fires, I'm not sure if we'll be able to have fires or not, but whatever the case, I'll cook you up an Indian taco and some fried bread, okay? And we'll have a good conversation.
What phone number can they reach you at if they need further information?
They are welcome to call me at the ODM-MIPSAHH line. It is 509-930-7919. And the mailing address is ODM-MIPSAHH, Native Outreach and Equine Therapy, P.O. Box 625, Wapato, Washington, 98951. If anybody would like to donate to this organization, I sure welcome your support. We need it. We've had some trouble recently with losing monthly funding, and so it's been a real struggle lately. Trying to put on this camp, I do really need support this year from people. So if you would like to support, I do not have PayPal or any internet service set up at this time. I am the only one operating and running this organization. I don't even have a board of directors. I do it all myself. So if you would like to donate to this organization, you can write a check or a money order to ODM, ODM, all capital letters, or you can write it to ODM-MIPSAHH, ODM-MIPSAHH, all capital letters. Those are my 2 legal trade names. Or you can write the full name of the ministry, ODM-MIPSAHH Native Outreach and Equine Therapy, if you desire. Put in the memo, be sure to put in the memo what your donation is for. You can donate for general funds. That means I can choose wherever the money is needed most and apply it there. We have some farm equipment going by. I apologize if there's any background noise. And if you would like to donate for the camp, then make sure that you put in the memo that it is for the 2019 Sawtooth Huckleberry Camp. If you would like to donate for the needs for the rescue horses for this organization, put in the memo hay if you'd like to provide hay, or just put rescue horses. And that way that money can go for whatever is needed for the rescue horses. Like equipment, there's always a need for equipment, and especially more equipment for the mountain every year. For the horses' safety, I have to have an electric fencing up there for them to keep them in. I do not highline my horses up there. It is not safe for me to highline them. I had a severely injured horse up there one year highlining them, and I have chosen to opt for a safe measure for my equines. And the Forest Service approves of my activities up there, and I'm just really glad to see that this is happening, and hope that if anyone would like to get involved in any way or show their support, that would be just absolutely wonderful. And I would like to say God bless you very much.
Yeah, so you've got some really concrete needs of hay and supplies for the horses, and transportation, and getting those horses up to where they're at during the summer, and taking care of them all year round, and keeping them trained so that people can ride them and be around them. But then there's also, you're involved in a lot of other things that people don't know about, and that, for example, you helped rescue some horses earlier this year. Is that right?
Yes, I did. I would like to just make a note on that real quick, and then I'll answer your inquiry about that. ODM-MIPSAHH desperately needs a donation for a 3-horse slant, a 2 to 3 horse slant, a horse trailer, or I need someone who can volunteer to haul these horses to camp and back home this year. Thank you for that inquiry of the horse rescue. Yes, when I got back from the last year's camp, 2018, I had a report from 2 of my neighbors asking me if I could investigate or look into a bunch of dead horses over across the way in a field here from me. And I pursued this. At first, I could not find any evidence and had to abandon the case and this report. I got a second report, and it was worse this time. They said that there was dead horses laying all over the place, and there's starving horses everywhere. So I went to investigate again, and this time I did find evidence of horses that were thin and underweight. I did see something way out in the field that looked like maybe it could possibly be some dead horses or something, but I wasn't really sure at the time. I can't go into details, but someone got involved with me for a period of time with this, and we went on a reconnaissance mission through the field with some military equipment, and we zeroed in and seen that there was a pile of dead horses and several dead horses laying around. And so I had enough evidence to pursue a case at that time. I tried to pursue this case and was getting nowhere with Yakima Nation and with the Yakima County Sheriff's Department. I'm the kind of person that doesn't let up or back down, and I kept pushing it. And because I kept pushing it, I forced them to give attention to this matter. We had cops on scene, and I gave them my reports. I had photographs of a dead horse right by the road, by ditch access road, waterway, and I had photographs of approximately a 2 to 3 month old colt with a right rear leg that was rotting clear through from side to side, and the bone was exposed. Was very concerned about this situation. It was very grave at this point. I pushed even harder at that time, and I'm sorry to say that this case turned out little more than a learning experience for me.
Right now, I am being treated with absolute, utter disdain by the officers. I was plain told to get my truck and get off this property within 30 seconds, or I will be arrested for trespassing. I'm a disabled woman. I can't even walk that fast. I am not going to injure these horses. This has all been taken out of my control. The Yakima County Sheriff's Office and the game wardens and everybody. I have to get these horses out of my way so they don't get injured. They trust me right now, okay? Well, quit threatening me, you guys. I have been threatened twice now to be arrested, and I have this recorded right now.
It is extremely it's almost impossible, let's say, to go against any horse rescues here on this reservation. The tribe does not care about these horses. They've actually, through my investigations, I have unfortunately discovered that the Yakima Nation Tribal Council has pocketed thousands and thousands of dollars off of the BLM's horse slaughter program. And there's hardly any wild horses left here anymore. It's just so tragic. I can't believe what has happened here. And I'm just one person in one organization that doesn't have any backing or support. I can't fight it. I tried fighting it, and I learned what happens when I do fight it. While I was in this investigation and battling with the tribe and the Yakima County Sheriff's Department, I watched 3 of the colts that were there. One baby was emaciated and drawn up in its spine. It was very sick. In fact, all of these horses were drinking out of a waterway where there was 3 dead calves dumped in there. And I reported this to the tribe and the Yakima County Sheriff's Department. I even showed them. There was officers and game wardens from the tribe on site, and I showed them the dead calves. As far as I know, still to this date, nothing has been done. And this case was in October of 2018. So through this case, I also experienced a lot of whiplash from the tribe and law enforcement from Yakima County Sheriff's Department. Through it all, the 3 colts were rescued by another organization that stepped in that is much bigger than me and has a great big rescue operation and stuff, and has horse trailers and all that sort of thing. They come in and made a deal with the owner of the horses for $1,000 for all 3 colts. I am appalled at how things happened here. I'm just totally put out by it. This man who has been guilty of allowing horses by the hundreds to starve to death, pregnant mares, little colts that were injured by barbed wire and things like that, that were rotting with severe infections to just lay there and die. There were evidence of babies, dead babies everywhere. Colts that were 2 and 3 months old that had died out there from starvation or injuries in the heat with no shade or a shelter from wind or elements, rain, anything at all. These horses are in barren tribal land that is absolutely ignored. And like I said, the waterway was polluted with 3 dead calves in water. So the end result was the 3 colts got swept out of there in a horse trailer. I was told by the Yakima County Sheriff's Department to shut my mouth, do not pursue this case anymore. I was threatened with arrest 2 times illegally. And I was told to leave the scene and go home or I would be arrested. I don't know what happened here, actually. I'm really stunned by this still. I have a lot of statements and reports in my file. I intended to pursue the Yakima County Sheriff's Department on this, but unfortunately I became severely ill from all the stress. I went over there and fed these horses 24 hours a day. I took my own supplies and fed these horses at risk of being arrested from trying to save this herd. because my neighbors were begging me to do something, and I gained more and more support from the neighbors as they found out what I was doing over there. Even the officers were kind of liking the idea of me going and stepping in bravely like that, against all odds and trying to make a difference, even at risk for arrest. And I had to fight at the tribe for information on owners of the land so I could pursue the owner of the horses and do something about the owner of the horses. It's really complicated here. Okay, and I have discovered through all this that people who try to battle this just gave up. Nobody does anything anymore, and that's why it's so bad here now. It's just let go, and the tribe does nothing. They just don't care. And I'm in an organization that cares, but I don't have anybody to back me up and support me and be a voice. And one voice is nothing by itself. It's like an arrow. You can snap an arrow by itself, but when you got a bundle of 3 or more arrows, you can't break them very easily. And ODM-MIPSAHH right now is one arrow. It's been one arrow for 4 years since it became an IRS. I need more arrows in my quiver, and I'm looking and praying to God the Father in heaven for the right people. And I know that there's a ton of people out there on in their internet that I've seen by responses from the video from last year that you did. By the way, Nakia, I just thank you so much. That is fabulous, beautifully done, very professional.
Thank you.
I know that there's people interested, but I need people to show that interest by contacting me and getting involved, because I desperately need that right now. And if that would happen, then I could see this organization really getting some things done. I have a street outreach here that I had to shut down, okay, because of safety. And as far as this horse rescue thing goes, I'll get back to this and get off that subject. I watched this guy walk away with the herd. They let him load up his horses. And legally, they're supposed to give him 72 hours to do something. They gave this guy a whole week. He still broke the law. And then he threatened me on site while I was on a call with 911. He drove by my house the day the horses were taken, the colts were taken, and the cops let him have his horses. He later drove by my house 5 miles an hour with gestures, threatened to shoot both my horses. I pursued a restraining order in the court system for this man. I was denied. So you see, there you have it. I'm up against a battle. And because of other investigations and work that I do here, like MMIW, Missing, Murdered, and Indigenous Women, I began to investigate that. And during my horse rescue, the cops found out because they were monitoring my Facebook page. And they were watching my home, too. And I had an individual step into my life who I won't really indicate any information about, that happened to be a former Marine with a bunch of nice equipment, and got involved with horse rescue, see? And then he just disappeared, said he didn't want nothing to do with it. And then he showed up at the scene the day the cops showed up. And then he disappeared again. And I'm just going, okay, something's going on here. And I knew I was under investigation because the cops found out that I was investigating MMIW. And I talked to this guy who said he was Marine and all this stuff. And I told him, you better come clean with me because I'm not talking and I'm not telling you anything. You're someone, and I don't know who you are, but you're a plant and I know it. And we had a discussion here in my home.
So we left off where this guy was in your house and told you to back off from this stuff. Can you? Or I think you were about to say that.
Yeah, the whole thing was just really strange. Okay, I mean, I was vending one day here on the agency, and the family come through the door, and and bought a bunch of stuff from my table, and I thought, wow, that's really going to help, you know. It was over $100 worth of stuff, and this guy, you know, was talking about he was a Marine and all this, and had participated in equine therapy programs before and all this stuff, and he wanted my card and everything and wanted to get a hold of me, right? And I invited these people. His wife showed up with him and everything, and they, I don't know, the whole thing was just odd. I just kept sensing that something wasn't right here. I didn't know what it was, but I do know that with the way this whole horse rescue thing went, and this guy telling me that he felt like I had it under control and that he wasn't going to be involved with this anymore, and then I didn't hear anything from him, and then all of a sudden, the morning of, when the cops show up out there to confiscate the horses and do their criminal, because it turned into a criminal investigation, okay? And that's the day they started threatening to arrest me and everything and told me to get out. And that guy was there, and I was wondering, why is he here? And then later on, he contacted me by text, and I was really coming unglued. I was very scared. I could not even be consoled by my friend because she was there with me at the horse rescue site, and she witnessed things happening. And then that guy gets a hold of me later, and I'm just telling him, look, man, I've been threatened, and he's saying call 911. And I was like, no, that's the reason I've been threatened. And so he called me right away, and he wanted to know what was wrong. And I said, I'm not talking to you. I don't know who you are, and I don't trust you, but I know you're here for a reason, and I've been threatened, and I'm not talking to anybody right now. I'm really scared. And that guy showed up at my place. He says, I'm coming out there. And my friend was still here. She didn't want to leave me alone. And we were standing here just talking about what happened that day, and I was literally bawling my eyes out because I had this man who I tried to rescue these horses from driving by my house at 5 miles an hour, threatening to shoot both of my babies. And my babies are precious to me, okay? I've been through a lot with Pejuta because that horse was nearly beaten to death when I rescued him. Well, I'm not sure what I could actually cover on that. I have to be careful of what I say. It was the sheriff's department the investigating officer said some things to me that indicated to me that they don't like me and they want me out of here. And the reason they don't like me is because I got a big mouth and I don't know how to keep it quiet. When I was investigating MMIW, the missing, murdered, and indigenous women, I made connections that dirty cops don't like. And because of everything that's happened recently with the tribe, we've discovered that pretty much everybody is not trustworthy here. So the cops or the Yakima County Sheriff's Department are the ones that's really responsible for making me feel like I have a genuine reason to be scared to stay here, to continue on, to try to move forward. I did what I was told by this man who said he was a former Marine. Keep my mouth shut. Back out of it. Be safe.
Who do you think he was?
I told him, I said, you tell them if they want me to leave, I will, but they've got to give me some time to get out of here because I have nowhere to go and I have no family. So, this is where God put me, and if God wants me to stay here, He'll protect me. I have a lot of people praying for me for my protection, and I am still here without too much incident, but I have had people pull in my driveway late at night, like 12 o'clock at night, men, in a very intimidating type of way, not giving me any answer or response of why they're here or what they want. And when I come running back into my house for some weapons and come running out into my driveway threatening them, they get scared and leave. I can be a very intimidating person if I need to be to protect myself, and I know how to fight. So I know martial arts and things like that. I've had training in those areas. So, but it's scary though, nevertheless, being a woman alone, having people threatening me from law enforcement, from people who say they're a former Marine telling me that my home is bugged and I better shut my mouth or something might happen to me.
Who do you think?
People I'm trying to rescue horses from that are letting their horses starve, that are threatening to shoot my horses. It's just dangerous here. And honest to God, people, if you want to know what ODM-MIPSAHH Native Outreach is about, it's based on my own life. Okay, that's the honest to God truth. My history is, let me go from 0 to 60 as fast as I can for the sake of time for this interview, okay? I was born into a violent household with alcoholism, into childhood trauma for the first 14 years of my life. I carry a lot of scars on me. I used to cut myself trying to bleed this out of my body, literally. DNA we're talking about here. And it don't work, you know. I've got scars all over me where I used to take a knife to me and just carve myself up. My horse is my healer, okay? I've been put through a lot through counseling. They've put me on drugs and stuff, okay, just because I was abused by my father and an uncle, okay? People treat me like there's something wrong with me and they need to do something about it, but their idea of what they need to do about it is the wrong idea. And so God gave me this rescue horse to heal my life. And this ministry is about healing others' lives, my people's lives who are broken. And that's why if you know, when you listen to my interviews or you look at those videos and you see, man, she's one tough hombre. Now you know why. Because I come out of hell and back. I've got 20 years clean from meth and alcohol right now, okay? And this is a deliverance ministry. I got delivered from it, or I couldn't have made it this long. I just couldn't. I'm not the kind of person that can survive something like that. I was going to die. And God had a purpose and a plan for my life, and ODM-MIPSAHH was it. I was asking God to change my life, and He decided to create this ministry as a 501c3, and God brought me to this reservation. I'm not living here because I want to be here. I was put here 7 years ago, and now I'm doing this camp here 10 years later, and that's basically what this ministry is about. It's about salvation, abundant hope, and healing, because that's what I needed, and that's what my people need. And I'm telling you who are going to be listening to this video that the people that are church folk, the preachers, the pastors, the denominations, they don't have their feet on the solid ground, okay, in areas that deal with these issues. They do not know how to address these issues. There are churches full of broken people, and they are crying out to their pastors, and they break down, and tears come out of their eyes, and then their pastors go, oh, God, not again. What's wrong with this person? Why can't they get it together? I can't deal with this. They need help. And this is the kind of attitude that they receive all the time, and I'm sick of it, because I've been through this. And I'm here to give people what they really need. I'm here to work through these issues with them, because I know how much hell it is getting through alcohol and drugs, and chewing tobacco and cigarettes, okay? I've done it all. And you got to go through withdrawals and all kinds of stuff. And the programs are failing. The treatment programs are failing. I know people out here in the streets of Wapato that they tribe removed them from the shelter, took them off the streets, put them through the alcohol and drug programs, and they're right back out here. One gal is in a wheelchair, and she has diabetes so bad, and she can't really get an ambulance to pick her up. And my heart is breaking, okay? If you want to know where the Tepex theory of Oche'Nah comes from, it's because I'm trying to drown out all my own pain. I carry so much pain in me from my own life and for my people. And I have no one to support me in this. I do this by myself. Every single day, I have to wake up and I have to face this on my own. And God is the only one that's really there for me. So yes, I need people who love these Indian people. I need people who have a heart for God and who want to serve Jesus Christ. And the people here in this country right here, there's so many people who donate to overseas missions and all that stuff, okay? But there's broken people right here. There's an explosion of homelessness right here. And my ministry knows what to do to address these issues because I've been there. And I have a heart to help these people, and I have the answers to help these people. But I can't not do it by myself.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Yeah, and I just want to encourage my viewers who have watched, those of you out there who comment and how much you appreciate Oche'Nah's stories and identify with her. This is a great time for you to show your support. And, I'm not getting paid to say this. I just like Oche'Nah, and I think that she's doing a good thing. There are practical needs here that need to be met with providing this equine therapy. So, I encourage you to get out your checkbook and write a check for $500, $200, $500, $25. I don't know, whatever you can do. And help out this ministry that Oche'Nah has going on, this nonprofit to help Native Americans here in the Northwest recover through equine therapy. I think it's a great thing, and I'm going to put up her address and contact information here. Thank you, Oche'Nah, so much. I appreciate what you're doing and all these conversations that we've had over the last few years. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I want to just thank you so much, and I also would like to specifically tell everyone out there who commented on Nakia's video for packing those horses out last year at the camp. I was amazed by your comments. I don't really want to go into my own personal issues, but I just want to say that your comments encourage me to keep going because I struggle, okay? I struggle with giving up. I struggle with quitting doing this ministry. This ministry is actually about ready to collapse right now. I'm struggling keeping this ministry alive with the state of Washington and the IRS in my tax filing. I just want to thank you all so much, all you viewers out there who support Nakia and Rat and Cat videos on the YouTube channel there. I want to thank you so much for your interest in myself as a human being, in my own story, in my character. I take a look at myself and I just kind of left there like SMH, shaking my head, right? What's with you, man? But you all out there, you seem to be encouraged by me and my story and my life, and that tells me that it was all worth it, I guess, and that if there's any of you out there who are struggling with addiction, if you're struggling with pornography, if you're struggling with homelessness, if you're struggling with your families, chewing tobacco or smoking cigarettes, whatever it is, man, we all got something that we battle, okay? It may be cussing, it may be anger, it may be food, it may be television, it may be sex, it may be anything at all, we might have problems with kicking our dog or something, or yelling at your wife or whatever, or your kids or whatever. You're just plain stressed out, or you just, need an encouraging person to talk to or something, I just want to let you know that, life is a battle, okay? Life is a battle. It's just the way life is. Life is a battle, okay? But I want to tell you that, please wait for tomorrow. Let tomorrow come, okay? And I'd like to encourage you to hold on, not give up. Please do not give up. Hold on, okay? Hold on. because there will be answers. There will be a day where the trouble will come to an end. There are answers, but my message to everybody is that there is hope in Yeshua HaMashiach, the Lord Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. The Bible is the living Word of God. It says so in the book of Hebrews, that the Word is living and active and sharper than any double-edged sword. It is able to discern the thoughts and intentions of the hearts and discern us into the joint and marrow unto division. And so I pray for all of you out there. My prayer is for your life too, because life is a battle. It's a struggle. And I want to thank you for your comments and that have encouraged me to keep going. And I'd like to encourage you to keep going. And we can stand by each other's side here, okay? God bless you, Nakia, for your Rat and Cat channel on YouTube, your YouTube videos, your kindness in interviewing me, and doing these beautiful videos that you've done. I couldn't thank you enough for it. Just God bless you and your family. And I give all the credit, though, every bit of credit for ODM-MIPSAHH and myself and anything that's been accomplished. I want all that to go to Jesus Christ and my Father in heaven, because He's the one who I look to for everything.
Thank you, Oche'Nah.
Thank you very much. God bless everybody.